Okay, moving on to item D, approval of the agenda. Having discussed with the superintendent, I just want to call out a couple language changes on our agenda. For executive session, we will be discussing under item A, threatened litigation. And for our action item corresponding item A, we will be discussing threatened litigation, authorizing the legal counsel to proceed as discussed in the executive session, eliminating the first sentence of that action item. We will also be postponing item B, correct? Under board discussion and possible action, correct, Vice President Bozé?
Madam President, that is correct.
Okay, so I am going... A board discussion and possible action. So item 11 on our Roman numerals, we will be postponing that. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the agenda with those changes.
I'll second.
Thank you, Vice President Bozé. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or otherwise? Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to executive session. Dr. Gonzalez.
Okay, I would like to move us into executive session where we're discussing threatened litigation, NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H7. Also limited personnel matters, NMSA 1978, 10-15-1H2, board discussion of superintendent performance preparatory to formal evaluation.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or otherwise? Okay, we will be in executive session. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting back in. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, I'd like to move us back into the session where in executive session, we discussed threatened litigation, NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H7, as well as limited personnel matters, NMSA 1978, 10-15-1H2, board discussion of superintendent performance preparatory to formal evaluation. No action was taken.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to come back from executive session and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or otherwise? Okay, moving on to introduction of interpreter. Go ahead.
Para asistencia de traducción en español, la señora Peña te ayudará.
Thank you very much. Now we move on, and thank you all for your patience while we finished up our executive session. We will move on to our school showcase, Gonzales Community School Growth / School Culture.
Good evening, Board President Noble, members of the board, and Superintendent Dr. Griffin. I would like to introduce the principal of Gonzales Community School, Chris Lopez.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Noble, and members of the boarders, and Superintendent Dr. Griffin. I want to talk a little bit about our school. I think the thing that I always tell people about our school is Gonzales is a school that has heart. We're scrappy. We
Sounds like my dad.
are a school that really looks to foster the best from our students and from our people. And what I think contributes most to that is the culture that we have and that we are building at the school daily. We want to make sure everybody is loved, everybody is cared for. We want to make sure that everybody knows that they have a spot at Gonzales. But I can talk all about it. I would rather show you. So what I'm going to present is a video that was created by our DLC, our digital learning coach, in preparation for this showcase. What it shows is the variety of things that we offer at our school. And I think the most important thing it shows, aside from programming, is all the smiling faces and how much our community cares for one another and wants to show what we do. So, thank you.
Welcome to Gonzales Community School, home of the Lobos.
Backpacks bouncing down the hallway. There's a sun on our faces at the door. From kinder crayons to 8th grade essays, we're dreaming bigger than.
Good morning, Gonzales.
Gonzales School is a safe, healthy, learning community. Living respectful
get here? Bad day, huh? Boss gave me overtime. I'll go make dinner. Just $400 more. The next day. Ugh, I'm bored. Huh? Few hours later. Are you okay? What's wrong? The money we're saving up is gone. Oh, what money? I have an idea. I have something to tell you. What? Please don't be mad at me. I'm sorry I didn't know. No!
That was just a sampling of what we have at Gonzales. I want to take note that the movie that was shown is one of 4 that were accepted into the Film Prize Junior competition, which is being, the competition will be held with a film showcase on March 21st. I'm excited to go and watch our students perform. I think there's some other students from Santa Fe High and maybe some other schools that have also been selected. Everything that you saw was student made. And this is the vision for Gonzales. We want to create 21st century learners. And that is really what we're looking to do at Gonzales. That's our vision. That's the team's vision. And I think we're pulling it off. So thank you for your time. Thank you for letting us showcase what we do.
Thank you very much. Anything from the board? Yes, go ahead, Board Member Blea.
Thank you, President Noble.
Turn your mic on.
Thank you, President Noble, Vice President Bose. Is there any way I could get Gonzales to write me a theme song? I'd like one. That was excellent. Thank you very much.
So that was interesting. When I heard the song, I was like, this is interesting. And then I heard our name in the song. I was like, oh. Then I watched the credits, and what our DLC did was use AI to create a song about Gonzales and
That's
what she
cool.
wanted to do for the video.
Very cool.
Well, thank you very much. As I know you know, I love Gonzales and would be remiss if we didn't mention that it is named for Dr. Gonzales's father, who, yes. And I don't know if we could hear, but when you said we have heart and are scrappy, she said just like my dad. So it's, yeah,
Yeah,
very appropriate. Anyway, thank you very much and keep up the good work.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, we will move on to public forum. And it looks like we do have the ability to do Google Meet. Thank you, Superintendent and team, for making this possible. And Joe, if you want to go ahead and lead us through public forum.
Excellent, thank you, Board President Noble. First, we'd like to start off by reading the Santa Fe Public Schools Board of Education Public Forum ground rules. Public forum includes online and/or virtual participation as needed, as well as in-person comments when the board holds in-person meetings. Please listen and speak with respect. No uncivil conduct will be permitted. Please do not discuss any specific student who is not your own. No sharing of time. Self-monitor and observe the 3-minute time limit. You'll receive a 30-second warning when your time is almost up. Public commentary and dialogue are allowed only during the public forum, not throughout the meeting. Please search for answers on common ground. You may speak on any topic, whether it is on the agenda or not. Your input will be taken into consideration. Please be advised that the board may discuss your issue during the meeting, but by law, the board cannot take action on items that are not on the agenda. Please do not discuss employee matters, which may result in disciplinary action. Instead, notify the employee's supervisor, the Human Resources Department, or the superintendent. And with that, President Noble, board members, Dr. Griffin, there's nobody in the waiting room right now for virtual participation. And we have one person that'd like to speak in-house. So with that, I'd like to bring up Leif Johnson.
No applause necessary. I feel very special. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to give like a 2-hour one, like the State of the Union. Anyways, hello everyone. Also got to write mine down. Good to see everyone once again. My name is Leif Johnson, and I teach history at Milagro Middle School. I wanted to speak with you tonight about the national emergency concerning cell phones in schools that our nation and the world is finally waking up to. In Santa Fe, it is time for some tough love and tough decisions. I know you can make them. You did it the other week regarding cell phones in our schools. Let's really create cell phone-free schools. Teachers are tired of being the cell phone police, and students are not able to self-monitor with such an addictive product in their pocket. I think if we really cared about our students' education and mental health, we would do something more radical about phones in schools. This is truly an unhealthy addiction that even adults are struggling to cope with. A few examples to let you know what we are dealing with. I know the other teachers in the room can attest to this. Anytime there is a fight at school, all the students pull out their phones and record it. These videos are immediately uploaded to social media and shared to everyone, where they live forever. Earlier this year, a student in 7th grade asked me if I wanted to see the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and then he had the video on his phone. Every day, I have to tell students to take out their earbuds when I'm talking to the class. I know it's even worse at the high school level. Students are perpetually distracted, and their attention span is getting shorter and shorter. So is mine, as they spend hours a day scrolling through TikTok videos. There is no way a teacher can compete for the attention of a teenager when they have unlimited dopamine to be released in their pocket. But I have a solution. I think you guys will like it. I think you'll like it too. I am proposing that we mimic what has been done locally in Taos and in much bigger cities like LA, New York, Chicago. Let's implement a cell phone pouch policy for all our schools. Students carry their phones in these pouches throughout the day and do not have access until opened by the teacher or office at the end of the day. And there has to be consequences for students that do not comply, like making their parents pick their cell phones up at school. The state has provided money for districts to implement things like this. Let's use it. Let's do it. Let's get the ball rolling right now for next year. Otherwise, we will just waste another year while we continue to conduct this massive experiment on the brains of young people by allowing unchecked phone use. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Board President Noble, members of the board, and Dr. Griffin, that concludes public forum.
Thank you, Mr. Abeta. And just to say, this is the first time we've done this, and board members, you know, you can let me or the superintendent know if you want it different, but I'm pleased with the new way we'll do public forum, which is that we still invite emailed comments to public forum, and as we have, the commitment would be that all of us read them ahead of time. And then we do now, for the first time, have the ability for the Google Meet public comment as well as in person. So it's a real upgrade, and again, appreciate all the work that it's taken to get us there. So do you want to add something? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Board Member Noble wanted to also mention we did not receive any emails.
Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, moving on, if there's no one else for public forum, is there anyone here for a union update? I do not see Ms. Cartier. Okay, we now have board announcements and follow-up, and as was noted on our forward planning last week, but I think because it's not a public meeting, the district is hosting the New Mexico School Board Association 2026 Spring Region 2 meeting on March 16th, because Dr. Gonzalez volunteered us, which is very nice, and it will be at ECO, is that right, or is it? Santa Fe High.
Yes,
Okay.
President, it'll be at Santa Fe High School in the
Okay.
Commons.
In the Commons at Santa Fe High. Are there any other board announcements and follow-up? Okay, we'll go on to superintendent announcements and follow-up. Dr. Griffin.
Thank you, Board President, board members. We'd like to welcome Melissa Wackerly, joined Santa Fe Public Schools as the Sustainability Program Director on February 12th. Combining her passion for environmental stewardship with 20-plus years experience in sustainable design and climate action. So welcome to Melissa. Quick EJ Martinez update. Since the January 29th special board meeting, our leadership team has actively been planning for the merger of EJ Martinez Elementary School and Chaparral Elementary School. We've implemented proactive enrollment measures, and once student placements are finalized, we open, starting next week, voluntary teacher transfers in alignment with our CBA during next week. We have also ordered 3 portables to help accommodate specials during renovation on the east side of the building. And the CRC will be updated with the possible renovation options at the next meeting. And last, our Keeping Families Safe resolution. Our priority action team has finalized an MOU with the NEA Santa Fe to support stipends for school-based liaisons who will support immigrant families. These liaisons will build trusted relationships and connect families to community resources. Deputy Romero and her team are developing training, and our priority action team will present a full update in the April board meeting outlining training, partnerships, and resources. So thank you very much.
Anything for the superintendent on the announcements? Okay, moving swiftly along. We have presentations starting with item A, celebrating 2025 new and renewed National Board Certified SFPS teachers and nurses.
let's start again. And I'm going to do it in Spanish. Just the greeting, okay? Good afternoon, buenas tardes. Presidenta Novo, Vicepresidenta Voces, miembros de la Junta Directiva y Superintendenta Doctora Griffin. My name is Raquel Plaza. I'm the Deputy Chief of the Family and Community Engagement. I'm a National Board Certified Teacher, and here we are tonight to celebrate and recognize our excellent NBC teachers and nurses. And then I achieved and I renewed in what is called LERLA. LERLA is Literacy, Reading, and Language Arts for ages 3 to 12. And I do this work of supporting NBCTs in the district alongside with my colleague, Dr. Susan Hackes-Gorman. She could not be here with us this evening because she had a family commitment, but she did the work with me, and then she supports the NBCT. So I want to acknowledge that she's part of this presentation as well. She's a bilingual educator, and she has achieved and renewed 2 times in middle childhood generalists ages 7 to 12. It looks like long, but I won't be long, okay? I'm gonna do, just for those of you that don't know the process, I'm gonna do a brief overview of what National Board Certification is. It's a rigorous and highly regarded achievement based on national standards. There are, our teachers can take up to from 1 to 3 years. So there's different certification areas. I name mine, or they're generalist, but there are now up to 25, which you can certify on art, or music, or math, or computers, history, you name it. And then you can achieve, and then you have to renew every 5 years. It used to be every 10 years, but education is changing rapidly. There are 4 components. So one of them is a computer test in their content area, and there are 3 portfolios that they have to complete. In order to qualify, you have to have your bachelor's degree, you have to hold a valid state teaching license, and then you have to complete 3 years of successful teaching. So when you're in your year 3, if you want to start the board certification, you can start the process. There are many, many benefits of becoming National Board Certified Teachers. I could spend so many hours, but I just chose some of them that are key research findings by the National Board. You guys have a link there to the national website. It names all of them. I'm gonna focus on the benefits for the teachers, but for the students mainly. So 80% of teachers report that going through this process has improved their instruction. They have practiced instructional strategies, and they have worked with colleagues, so they're satisfied, 80%. The students of NBCTs demonstrate evidence of deeper learning, nearly 3 times more frequently than their peers of non-NBCTs. And students taught by NBCTs, National Board Certified Teachers, gain 1 to 2 months of additional learning compared to peers of non-NBCTs. That's a fact. This is research. This positive impact is even more impactful in populations like minorities and even low socioeconomics. And there's less teacher turnover. That's what we kind of like to advocate and go for NBCTs, because it's such a rewarding process that NBCTs, the attrition rate is 4 times lower than non-NBCTs. All our teachers today, they've been, some of them, many years in the district. Now I want to show you a roadmap, a little history of how, as a district, we have been supporting NBCTs. I mentioned my colleague, Dr. Susan Hackes-Gorman. So back in 2005, that's where we started a little journey. There was only 3 NBCTs in this district. One of them was Susan Hackes-Gorman, only then, only 3. In 2017, she led a district level, an initiative which was a statewide grant that offered PD to teachers. So some schools participated. That grant was called NT3. I was one of the teachers that participated, not the teacher, sorry, the lead, my school, Sweeney, participated in the NT3, and I led PD for teachers. So in fact, the teachers were learning about core propositions, effective practices, so that was part of that grant back then. So some schools participated there. Moving fast forward to 2018 and present, we've been recognizing NBCTs at different levels, first at BF Young, then as an announcement. And thank you, Dr. Griffin, for allowing us to present. This is the first year we have a presentation about National Board certified, and we're including nurses, so I'm very excited. And what we do as a Northeast regional coordinators for the NBCT network, because that's our work, that's what we do. You see the map, because not only we represent Santa Fe, but we actually expand the word along the whole Northeast region. So you see all those districts up there. And what we do is we hold informational sessions. There's going to be one, March 11, from 4 to 5 is online, and we invite not only all our teachers, but teachers throughout the state. We connect with other districts and say, if you want information of what the process is, join us. So we hold usually 2 a year, one in the fall, one in the spring, and then we respond to emails and communications, and we normally connect them to the NBCT network because they have lots of supports, retreat sessions, they have people that read them, their portfolios, so they have great supports over there. We invite them, and yeah, that's what we do over there. And another thing that we included in the last 2-3 years was that now we have a page. Not many people know about this, but we have a page within Santa Fe Public Schools called Career Advancements Opportunities. That's a one-stop shop. What we do in there is we put information about a scholarship. There's one coming up in April. And then the informational sessions, we put the flyers there. We put the group photo that we'll take tonight. And then we have links to the National Board Certification website, where they have all the information about the process, the New Mexico NBCT network, the Llano Foundation, because Llano is one of our partners. And right now they have cohorts, and they help the candidates. And right now I know that there's some of our teachers from several schools that are part of the Llano cohort. So it's part of the supports. And then last year, I learned about the nurses, and we were like, we included the nurses. So there's a link of their portfolio and their process, which my colleague Mirna Barbie will tell you more. And then there's also a photo there. So we're including them because we're all together, and this is a National Board certification for everyone. Before we call them here, do you guys have any questions for me regarding the process or anything?
Questions from the board? I think you can call them up. Thank you for a good overview, Ms. Plaza.
Perfect. So now this is the exciting part, because we are going to call one group at a time. We're going to call first the NBCT teachers. So when we call your name, please come up here. You're going to receive a certificate and a plaque. And then stay standing, because we will want, every year we take a photo with the whole board and the superintendent. So we're going to call them here. They should be here. This is our teachers. Yeah, you ready? Okay, and I've been practicing your last names. Okay, you ready? Alexandra Blossom from Capitol High. Come on up. Come on up. She's not here. We're holding your certificate and your plaque. Okay, Barbara Teterich, Capitol High. Congratulations. Please stay standing over there. Yes. Cassandra Sidibaca from Capitol High. Okay. Kelly Michelle Phillips, Capitol High. Guadalupe Estrada Ramirez Tomas. This is what I need to give a hug, because she's one of my teachers. Espera, Guadalupe, abrazo. Angelina Duran from Piñón. This is my kid's teacher, so I also have to give her a hug. Jessie Gatz from Mandela International. I need to get in that. Okay, this is the group of NBCTs, so please come down. If the board will please come down to take photos. We're going to take and this photo will be in the website, but also in the bulletin, superintendent's bulletin, there will be an article for you. Thank you and congratulations. And now I'd like to introduce my colleague Mirna Barbie, but my provider, will provide a little overview of how the process looks for nurses. But I would like to recognize her because she's a 2016, let me move this list, 2016 National Board Certified Nurse. So this recognition is for her too.
Hello, President Noble, members of the board, superintendent. Thank you so much for including the nurses in this recognition. So the National Board Certification for School Nursing process is similar to the one for teachers. It does involve having to have a bachelor's degree, 3 years of experience, a very difficult exam, and a portfolio process. And so I want to recognize the nurses who have gone on this journey and advanced their career in this way. We have a few people that are here with us tonight and some more that didn't make it, but I'll read their names. So if you guys want to come up and get your plaque, I'll start with our newest nationally board certified school nurses, and starting with Lori Vanderjot from Santa Fe High. Next we have Shelley Ogelschwint from El Dorado Community School. I think the only other, oh, sorry. And then the only other one who's with us tonight is Jan Carol Etree from Kearney Elementary. I'll read our other names just so we can recognize these folks as well. Karen Nielsen is our school nurse at Gonzales Community School. She was a newly certified, nationally certified school nurse. And then we also have Camille Reyes, Kimber Seymour, and Shona Stack.
And we'll take one more quick picture.
Before we head down for the picture, I just want to give a shout out to Lori and Shelley, who between the two of them have taken care of all three of my kids in the 10 years that we've lived here between El Dorado and Santa Fe High. And they've done such an amazing job. Congratulations on your board certification.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I think most everybody's hightailed it out of here, but congratulations, and we are so proud of everyone who gets their national board certification. Okay, moving on to presentation B, Santa Fe Public Schools Athletics Restructuring and Oversight. Superintendent.
Deputy Romero. Board members.
President Noble, members of the board, Superintendent Griffin, I want to introduce our new athletic director of activities and athletics, Mr. Nick Salazar. And I also want to thank Ms. Felicia Sena, Assistant Superintendent. This was the first year that athletics has moved under teaching and learning. And so tonight we just want to take an opportunity to celebrate all the great things that are happening. Innovative structures and accountability and just the passion and commitment from the athletics department. So it's an opportunity to celebrate everything we're doing in athletics. Thank you.
Good evening, Board President Noble, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Griffin. Thank you for all of you who have come out to join us this evening. We do have some of our athletes out here and some of our coaches. Our community is very loyal, and we're just grateful for this opportunity to be in front of you tonight. I have control of this? Perfect. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Nicholas Salazar. I've been with the district now for 9 years, going on my 9th year. I started as a coach while I was on active duty. Upon retiring, I became a teacher and have taught for 5 years. The last 2 years, I've been blessed with the opportunity to work in athletics, and I'm going to go through this slideshow with you tonight to give you some of the good things that we've accomplished over this year. If you take a look at the board, you'll see our mission and scope for the athletic department. We currently serve 1,791 student athletes throughout the district. In order for a student to participate in athletics, students must meet zoning, academic requirements of 2.0 no Fs, physical clearance requirements, and we do the same thing for our coaches. Prior to them even receiving a coaching license, they have to be qualified through the National Federation of High School Sports, and they are required to meet all requirements for New Mexico Professional Education Department. On the board now, you'll see our 2025-2026 mid-year executive summary. At the beginning of the year, I like to sit with each of my employees and coworkers, break down what our goals are for the year, and then talk to our leadership, Deputy Superintendent Romero and Assistant Superintendent Felicia Sena, and go over what our plans, our goals, and what we'd like to achieve for the year. Right now, you caught us towards the end of middle school, or towards the end of our winter sports programming. And at this time, we take a look back on what we've accomplished throughout the fall semester, or fall sports and winter sports. And you're about to find out all the great things that this department's done during this time. Everyone's been talking about the new leadership, how we fall under teaching and learning. We used to fall under operations, and the different changes we've been doing since then. If you look, we've had a department restructure. The first district-wide budget that started last year and we implemented this year, updated our eligibility tracking and simplified the processes and procedures for the entire athletic department. On this slideshow, I know it goes up online and I know everybody has access to it. There's a link to our weekly newsletter, our coaches shared drive, which is our library of resources for our coaches, and the athletic district webpage that we've been updating. The reorg that we went through, if you look up top, I know it's kind of hard to see, but the department's pretty big. We reorganized under teaching and learning, and that looks like this. Everyone falls under our awesome leader, the superintendent, Dr. Griffin. And then our fearless leaders, Deputy Superintendent Vanessa Romero and Assistant Superintendent Felicia Sena. The only other one at the district level is myself, overseeing the district department for athletics and activities, but we have some awesome people working at each school. If you look over to the left, you'll see the staff for Capitol High School. That starts with Ray Salazar, the athletic director on site. Ray, please stand up. And if everyone will just stand up as I mention your name. With Ray at Capitol High School is our athletic manager, Corey Polanco. They are actually responsible for 54 paid position coaches and 21 volunteers. If you go to the far right, and we're gonna skip the middle because that's our middle school stuff, but that's very important, that's why it's in the middle. We have Santa Fe High School site athletic director, John Brooks. His partner in crime, Luann Padilla, staple of our community. And at Santa Fe High, they have 56 coaching positions that are paid on stipend and 9 volunteers. Now, jumping over to the middle, our middle schools that transition all our athletes from elementary, that middle school, those middle school years, preparing them for high school. We have James Romero as the middle school coordinator. He works with administrators who are assigned additional duties as middle school athletic reps. There's 8 of them, 1 at each middle school. At the middle school level, obviously 8 schools, we're looking at 92 paid coaches on stipends and 3 volunteers. Unlike most districts, we've been blessed with athletic trainers. Through a partnership, we're able to have an athletic trainer at each high school. Most schools don't get their own athletic trainer. They usually share within the district. We actually have one at each high school. They're not here tonight, but David Manning's at Santa Fe High School and Dylan Alam is at Capitol High School. Now that we've talked a little bit about our organizational chart, we'd like to just let you know what we've done to make our finances more transparent for the public and for our district. So when you ask questions, we can tell you every penny that we spend, every penny that we raise. We now account for 100% of our district athletic expenditures. Prior to this year, if you were to ask us, we probably wouldn't be able to give you an exact amount at the time, but anytime a parent or board member would like to know that information, or any principals, we have that information out of my office now. In order for us to be able to get this information for you, we do a weekly scrub within the department. We pull all our purchase orders, and we scrub everything that's been processed, and we go over all encumbrances, and anything that we're not spending, we disencumber and then rotate it back into the budget so we can start spending it again. After we do we do that every week, and then twice a month, or once a month, we'll meet as a athletic staff, and we'll go over everywhere we're at so that when we get to our quarterly meetings with our finance department, with business services, we have everything lined out for them. Another area we're transparent in now is medical and academic eligibility. We've gone through a system modernization of moving from paper rosters and tracking mechanisms, spreadsheets, to now one system that tracks everything for us when it comes to athletic, academic eligibility, and medical eligibility. That system we use is Dragonfly. At the district level, we manage everybody's access. At the coach eligibility, that's all done out of my office at the district. Player academic eligibility, that's the school ADs. And then player physical eligibility, that's the trainer with our school ADs. Our roster management is broken down to each coach, so everybody has a responsibility in that system. So at the coach's level, you know all of his athletes because he's reporting it to you. The player eligibility, we know at each school because they're going through and doing that. And then at the district level, we're overseeing the coaches and their eligibility requirements. Actually, I'm going to back up on that. The 2 main numbers that you see up there, Last year with compliance, we were at 50% across the district. This year, at the end of winter sports, we're at 90%. By the end of this year, we will be at 100% compliance. We will always ensure that our athletes are eligible to compete and they're doing their part in the classroom. Because as we say, it's a student athlete at all times. Athletics are not an entitlement, it's actually a privilege for those students who earn that right to participate in athletics and activities. This right here, I want everybody to take a look at that slide. That's a busy slide. In the military, I'd never throw anything up like that. The only reason why I throw that up right now is so you can see on the administrative side, just the key tasks. That's what we track on the left side. When you look over to the right side, every event you go to, whether it's a football game, basketball game, soccer game, whatever it may be that has to do with athletics, that's everything we cover. Contracted personnel on the admin side, 202. Volunteers, 33. Of course, what comes with contracted personnel and volunteers? Evaluations. We're probably one of the only departments that has 235 evaluations due every year. And if you ask us for one, just like a renewal happened today, we're able to pull that information, give it to PED, and renew a license within a day. Stipend pay transactions, obviously with 202 positions, it's not always a different person because some do multiple roles in our athletic department, but it's 202 stipends that we pay out a year just for the coaches. That number right there does not even include your off-season stipends. If we start talking off-season stipends, now we're looking at an additional 36, I believe, over the 3 seasons. Don't quote me on that number, but I can get it to you if you need it. Purchase order requests, over 150 up to date. We'll end the year with probably 200 plus, maybe 225. Equipment inventories throughout the district. Our staff's required to do 71 inventories before the season starts and 71 inventories at the end of each season to make sure we're being good stewards of our taxpayer dollars and the equipment that's given by the district. Our coaches' vacancies that we started with were 62 when we went into this school year. We filled 33 of those positions through internal recruiting, the vision of Deputy Superintendent Romero and Assistant Superintendent Sena putting advertisements in the movie theater, something we had never done before, working with Joe Abeta. We filled 33 out of those 62. And next year, our goal is to get to 90% of a fill, because we'll be recruiting like crazy all summer. And thank you, Joe, for that and working with us. Our eligibility tracking and transactions, you saw we had 1,700 students. To date, that's not including spring sports, we have 3,462 records that have to be cleared by the staff I introduced to early today. Athletic management, we talked about it earlier, 1,731 athletes across the district. That's a normal, that's what we do. Event management, I'm not gonna dive into every number there, I'm gonna let you be able to see that, and you have the slides in front of you. That's what we go through every year. We pay officials, we pay game workers, everything you see at those events, we schedule them, we pay them, and then we prepare for those events. Like when everyone's day ends, athletic personnel, your night starts. We have our normal 8-hour day, and then on top of that, we have the event that's going on for another 3 to 4 hours. Our athletic staff has worked tireless hours to be able to accomplish this, and I think it's just worthy of some type of praise, and just to give you that example, because I know nobody talks about it. We'll go ahead and jump into the next slide, because I'll talk all day about transactions. If anyone wants to know like what each position does, we have duties and responsibilities for each position. We do an initial counseling or standards and expectations at the beginning of each year. We do a mid-year assessment before we do our mid-year review for the big bosses up top. And then at the end of the year, we actually use that data to write their evaluations. We're moving into our partnerships, because obviously you saw we can't do everything ourselves, and Joe played a big part in what we were doing when it came to advertising and filling positions. These are 3 of our big partnerships we've had this first half of the year. We have more, but these are the ones I wanted to hit on. We have work-based learning partnership where we have 6 student interns for the first time, probably in district history, at least in the 8 years I've been around or 9 years I've been around. Our student interns are right here. Please stand up. At least there's 3 of them. For our board members, part of what they do, besides learning events, learning how athletics runs, they know how to make sweatshirts, hoodies, all that good stuff, and they brought you a little gift that they've made in the shop. If you guys could just take it up to our superintendent. They're in the bag. If you don't have your size, please reach out to me, let me know, we'll have them make you your size. And for any of our staff, we'll always get you something. Our transportation, yep. It's beautiful, they're doing a great job. Our transportation partnership has been awesome. Last year, we had 151 total trips amongst athletics and activities, or athletics. This year, we're already at 220 plus. What this tells you is we raise our money through ticket sales and our ticket sales and our concession stands. That money that we raise goes towards game workers, transportation, meals for our athletes, official pay, game worker pay. So we're raising money in athletics and dumping over 220 trips worth of money back into Santa Fe Public Schools Transportation Department. Our goal is to help get that above 300, maybe even 400 by next year, and start looking at activity buses, helping fund activity buses for our activities and our athletics through our transportation department. So that's a great partnership we've had this year. Our other ones, Christus St. Vincent, are athletic trainers. They're licensed professionals, and they're actually Christus St. Vincent employees. We pay half their salary, they pay the other half, plus their benefits. And we have 2 licensed professionals at each school for our athletic programs. Now we get on to the good stuff. Now that you've heard me talking, my mouth dry with everything going on lately with the weather up and down, now we get into the really good stuff. As you can see, this is meant for you to read when you have time. Santa Fe High, this is just a small list of Santa Fe High capital and middle school achievements. But tonight, who I'd like to recognize is one of our most recent state champions, Ian Wald. Please come up. This is a message from his coach. He's super excited to have Ian Wald on his team. Ian was able to win a state championship in swimming at the state meet on Saturday. He has been swimming for Santa Fe High School for 4 years and was able to win his race the slim margin of 0.05 seconds. Everybody's super proud of him. He is the first state championship for Santa Fe High School in over 22 years when it comes to swim. Ian is also slotted to be the valedictorian and has been great to work with. The coach, the athletic department, the school, the district is very proud of this young man. Ian embodies all that we love about athletics competition. Congratulations, Ian.
Thank you.
In the crowd, we'd like to acknowledge one of our newest coaches at Capitol High School. This year, we hired a coach in the summertime. The coach was coming from out of state, out of Nevada. He ended up showing up, didn't make it a day. Resigned, left 2 weeks before basketball season. I was hurting because it was my class he was taking on, because I went back to teaching. That's a long story we won't go into tonight. I was hurting because then I had some lesson plans and grades to do for the rest of the semester. But Jonathan Salazar, please stand up, stepped up to coach the girls' basketball team with only 2 weeks of practice. And he built one of the youngest teams in the district. He built them, how many wins, Jonathan? 3? 4 wins with a team of, varsity team at that, of 2 seniors, 3 juniors. The rest were freshmen, sophomores, and 8th graders. Great job, Jonathan. The next person we'd just like to call up just to acknowledge And no, it's not just because of his last name. He's the head football coach. He's the powerlifting coach. He led his team to the state tournament for the first time in a very long time at Capitol High School. He's just going to give you a little bit of his knowledge as a coach under the old staff, the new staff, and then just give you a kind of a taste of what it feels like to be a coach in Santa Fe Public Schools. John Salazar, please come up.
Board President, board members, Dr. Griffin, thank you for having me here tonight. Well, I should thank Nick for pulling me up here, but I'll keep it brief. I just wanted to mention with this new restructuring that has happened in the athletic department, prior to that, we would hire middle school coaches. I've been with the football program for a while now at Capitol High School. Just recently the head coach, this was my second year there. But I've been an assistant there for quite a while, and trying to get the middle school feeder programs to basically run our system so that when they step in as ninth graders, there's not much of a learning curve was like pulling teeth. We would get, people who would take over the program at Ortiz, and they running things that they wanted to run. This summer was the first time I had the opportunity to meet with the middle school football coach, bring him into our summer workouts, show him exactly how we do things. So, our program, we have standards. We don't have that. We have standards that our kids need to meet. And the sooner we can bring those standards down to the younger grades, 7th, 6th grade, in some case 6th, 7th, 8th, the sooner they understand, like, this is what it takes to be a Capitol High Jaguar. Not just in our football program, but in the school in general. Ms. Holliday knows, she was actually on the board that hired me to be the head coach. So we were able to start implementing our offensive scheme, our defensive scheme at the middle school level this year. And we were able to go and I took the team during our bye week to go watch the middle school kids when they played Indian school during the season. And those, it was cool to see the excitement on their faces when they saw the high school kids come to watch them. But it was cool for me to see that they were actually running the stuff that we run in high school. And once their season ended, we were able to bring some of the 8th graders up to play on our JV. And the transition was seamless. It was seamless. And when you want to start building, district champions and state champions, the standard is obviously Artesia down south. There was a time when I was playing in high school, we were playing Artesia, and the coach is chewing out the quarterback because he blew a play. I don't know what the play was for them, but the coach is yelling at the player, and he's like, "You've been doing this for 10 years, son. How are you messing it up?" That means the kid was doing it since he was 8 years old, 7 years old. And, that's why I believe they're the second winningest program in the country. So, it's not just for us, but Santa Fe High. I'm all about this. I want to play Santa Fe High for a district championship next year in football. And we have that opportunity to do that. I think that would be great for the community. Just the way communities, they love winning programs. And I think it would do so much great things for the city of Santa Fe when they have both schools competing with each other for something at that level. But, cutting myself short here, I'm just up here to say how much I support the new structure with the athletic department, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else is going to Nick and you all what all you're going to come up with next to just make us that much stronger when it comes to Santa Fe Public School athletics. Thank you, guys.
We throw all the good stuff out front so you could see everything that we're doing great. But we're realistic. Nothing's perfect. We have challenges, and we're always going to have areas for growth. Our coaching development, that's ongoing. Educators, because I believe coaches they're educators in my eyes. The first thing they're doing is educating on that field, life lessons. Education is a lifelong process. Our coaches, they're going to start taking it the same way, and most of them are doing it, but we're going to make that a standard going forward. Continue training in compliance with Title IX standards. We're going to start diving into sports psychology starting this summer and into next year, because it's tough. Social media, the phones, everything you heard about earlier today, we have to work past those things. And in order to do that, we have to reach our students mentally. And we need to make them mentally healthy before we can get them physically healthy. And I'm a huge believer in all the components of health. And the mental piece is that first piece we have to really focus on. We're going to be consistent, as we talked about, across the board. You go to a Santa Fe Public School middle school, it's going to be the same at an event. You show up to Santa Fe Higher Capital, it's the same. You're being welcomed. We want you to come in. Your fans are going to have the best snacks. Our officials are going to be treated great. Our game workers, our staff. If our board members decide to go to any of those games, you're going to be treated with respect and enjoy your time there. And at the same time, we're going to compete our butts off. We're going to compete, and represent our district the right way. We're going to compete with class, as the New Mexico Athletics Association always says we have to do. With facilities and equipment, we're always going to have those with athletics. If I skipped the slide, but just since September 15th, you saw how many practices we have, 14,000. You saw how many events, 369. On top of that, we have facility use requests left and right. We have 38 since September till now that I'm aware of that ran through my office. Before that, just with middle school or elementary basketball, that was over 20 facility use requests. By summertime, we're going to be well over 100 facility use requests. We have professional teams who want us. We have semi-pro teams who want to be here. We have all the youth clubs. Santa Fe Public Schools, because of our facilities and our facilities department, everyone wants to use our stuff because it's top of the line. The problem is, you saw the hours that our teams put in. We're working together with the community. We'll be working with the community colleges, with the Chavez Center, with the city of Santa Fe, because we're not always going to be able to help with those facility uses. I'm seeing it every day. Currently, I'm working on 6 facility uses. We have 17 teams at each high school playing games right now because we're in the transition between spring and the winter sports that are concluding. We have all the teams that are participating in off-season training right now. That's 17 active teams competing that are closing up within last week, going into next week. We should be only spring by then. But the off-season for all of these teams takes year-round training to compete with the biggest schools. So when we look at facility use, and I know you're going to get some complaints because sometimes we just can't fill them, I'm always open to be able to help communicate that. Parent calls, everybody knows. My number is listed on the website, and we're going to show that for you. My email's there. I'm transparent as transparent can be. I'm a retired CW3 that loves to communicate with the public and loves to communicate with anyone who has questions about what we're doing. We're not always going to be perfect, but we're always going to work our hardest to do the best for Santa Fe Public Schools. Future plans and vision, I kind of talked about that already. It's on here for you to see. The one I wanted to touch on that John Michael talked about, Coach Salazar talked about, supporting the middle school but through a collaboration with the high schools. That's huge. Our coaches this summer will be practicing not just in their own facilities, but at the middle schools and opening up time where the middle school coaches and players can actually work with the high school teams, their younger teams, of course, and their coaches. So now we're creating mentorship between high school athletes, middle school athletes, and then high school coaches with the middle school coaches. We're one team, we're one community. In the Army, we called it one team, one fight. Whenever I talk to another directorate, Robert, you hear me all the time, one team, one fight. That's my biggest thing. We're in it together. These are our students. I moved back from Rio Rancho and brought my kids here from Cleveland. They transferred, we took them to Capital, proud graduates. I am a Santa Fean. I'm a Santa Fe Public School success story, I would say. Those who know me knew what I was like when I was growing up. But I really believe in what we're doing. I am really grateful for this opportunity to be in front of you today. On the slides, I will be adding some links so you can get to them. You'll be able to see our webpage. Our webpage is the hub for everything. You want to see our newsletters, you want to see schedules, you want to see coaching requirements, athlete requirements. Right now, that's the hub. By this summer, it's going to spider web to social media, although we're talking about taking phones out of the classroom. We're going to be blasting out to social media. Joe and I are talking about doing some podcasts. We want the community buy-in. We want our department buy-in. We just want our district buy-in. We're in it together. One team, one fight. Thank you very much. If you have any questions for me, I do want you to know I did the research. We lost 500 students. I listened to your meeting last week. I listened to your meetings, believe it or not. I know we're going to be losing money on budget, so we have a good plan going forward. So hopefully at the end of the year, we're going to be giving you a good marketing plan to help increase funds and help do the things we need to for athletics. With the leadership of Deputy Romero and Assistant Superintendent Sena, you've already seen the great work they can do. What you're seeing in front of you is a structure that they came up with. We've implemented it, and you're obviously seeing good results from it. So, Lord willing, you'll have me back again. I know I was a little long-winded, but I'm just so excited about our department. I'll be willing to give you the end-of-year review, just something quick you can review beforehand, and then give you what we're planning on for next year, if you're willing to have me back. Thank you again. The 1,900 students, almost 1,900 students at charter schools and public and private schools, we need to show them why they should be in Santa Fe Public Schools. They're asking us for facility use. They're pulling over for whatever reason, because there are almost 1,900 high school students within our community that are going to private and charter schools. We need to show them why they need to be Santa Fe Public School students. Ian right here, our interns right here, the coaches you've met tonight, that's the reason why we need to, that's how we're gonna pull them back. It's just gonna take us 2 to 3 years, then you'll have to find someone else, replace me, and put someone better. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much for tonight. I'll answer any questions you have.
Thank you very much. I want to say I love the newsletter. I see it often, and it's fantastic. I'm also going to say, unless the board wants to really object, I think we should all put our sweatshirts on and take a picture all together in a minute.
We would love that.
But first, I'm going to ask if there are any questions or comments from the board. Yeah, Board Member Obeta, then Board Member Blea.
I just wanted to thank the superintendent for this presentation. I've been on the board, I think, 4 years, and we haven't had a presentation like this thorough, and I'm amazed by the number of student athletes we have, the coaches, the facilities. And I think we do need to take a look at our facility use and all those requests, because I think they are being taxed by outside leagues, adult leagues, things like that. So I think we really need to take a look at it to make sure that we're putting our students first and making them a real priority. But again, thank you for this presentation. It's a really big undertaking that our athletic department takes on, and unless you've been directly involved in athletics as a student like I was, you really don't have an appreciation for it, or your kids, until you see a presentation like this. And even then, you only think of your sport that you played or you liked or your kids played. You don't think about, volleyball and softball and baseball and all these others. So it's a huge undertaking, and I look forward to hearing what your plans are as far as like support when it comes financially, especially given potential budget constraints we may have moving into the future. So thank you, Superintendent Griffin.
Board Member Blea.
Thank you, President Noble and Vice President Bose, and Superintendent, thank you for this. One thing I do want to do first is Girls Basketball Coach Salazar, thank you very much for what you've done. I've heard nothing but good things about what you've been able to do and how you've worked with the student athletes. So yeah, I can't thank you enough for doing it under some very difficult circumstances. So thank you very much. I also want to speak and ask a question. Football coach Salazar, and there's like 15 Salazars over there, so I have to be very specific. But I wanted to kind of gauge your opinion because you talked about identity, and you talked about identity at the middle school. Do you feel that academically, that helps academically developing that kind of like identity from middle school to high school?
Board President Noble, Board Member Blea, I do believe that having that mentorship from the older student athletes with the younger student athletes does help them to, aspire to be just like these, the older guys that are helping them out. I know we have different regulations when it comes from transitioning from middle school to high school, but if we can set that standard right away, immediately when they're in middle school, so that they understand, we take our academics seriously in this program or at this school. It gives them a head start on that.
Cool, thank you. And just one last follow-up question. This is for AD Salazar. Is Santa Fe High doing kind of a similar kind of thing with the feeder programs and things like that?
I'm new to the protocol, but Board President Noble, Member Blea, yes, sir, it's across the district. As we talked about, we're standardizing our practices across the district. The 2 flavors in Santa Fe are going away. We're going to one flavor that's called Santa Fe Public School Athletics.
Thank you.
Vice President Bozay.
Thank you very much, President Noble. Dr. Griffin, thank you for being here. This was an awesome presentation. I was not any sort of award-winning athlete. When I was in high school, I did a little bit of everything, including managing when I got injured. So I just, we talk about it when we have music presentations and art presentations, like these are the kinds of things that keep our students engaged in school, keep them on track when they might not otherwise be showing up, creating relationships that they might not have outside of school. And I really just want to highlight and thank you for thinking about the younger kids and building those relationships and the community relationships that you're talking about, because I think that's really, really important in our community right now, in our world right now, and you play an integral role in that, so thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all very much for your work and passion and heart in all this. I think Vice President Bozay said it very well. It is something that keeps kids engaged, and it is learning, it is education, it is relationships, it's all these important things. So I would suggest let's take a picture, and you can put on your sweatshirt or hold it up or something like that. But and I'd invite everyone who's involved in the athletic program to come down and take a picture with the board, if you would.
Yes, ma'am. Athletics community, please come up. That includes the parents, please. Thank you.
Okay, that was wonderful. Moving on to our. Moving on to our action items, we will start with action item A, threatened litigation, NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H7, authorizing legal counsel to proceed as discussed in executive session regarding threatened litigation.
I'll second.
Did I move? I'll move.
Oh, I mean, so moved.
I think I moved, you seconded, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or otherwise? Okay, moving on to action item B, the consent agenda. Anything anyone wants to consider separately or questions on the consent agenda?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you,
Second.
Dr. Gonzalez, Board Member Abeta. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or otherwise? Okay, we are moving on to action item C, report on tribal consultations of DSA and EJ Martinez / Chaparral merger. Superintendent.
Good evening. This will be a very short update for you, so I hope to get through it. Back in May, Board President Bozay, members, Superintendent Griffin, the board voted on the transformation and closure of Desert Sage Academy, and then most recently on the merger of EJ Martinez and Chaparral. As part of the paperwork for submission for the DSA transformation and closure, we submitted that paperwork back in May. Late this fall, the Public Education Department sent back a memo basically saying that we were provisionally approved pending tribal consultation. So we held that tribal consultation. We also, in anticipation of a similar request for EJ and the Chaparral merger, we had a second tribal consultation after the vote. We held the first meeting for DSA on January 20th of this year. And we held the meeting for EJ Chaparral merger on February 12th, so very recently. The results of both of those meetings were very positive. Tribal members and representatives did not raise any objections, nor in fact did they have any questions regarding the board's decisions. So at this point, those meetings are concluded and pending any questions from yourselves.
Questions from the board? Okay, and this is an action item, so we are, is it?
Yeah, I don't see
Do
a
we-
recommendation on the cover sheet, so I'm not sure what.
Did we
our
take
motion
action
is.
on this? Anyone know?
I believe that you need to accept
The recommendations. and
recommendation.
Acknowledge that it's, you know, kinda
Received.
confused as to, okay.
Do you need a motion?
I think we do.
President Noble, I would move that we accept the report on tribal consultations of DSA, EJ Martinez Chaparral merger.
I'll second.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or otherwise? Okay.
Thank you.
We have accepted that. Moving on to action item D, first reading of amended policy 405, special education services. Is there someone to take us through this?
Board President, Dr. Maynard.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Board President Noble, esteemed board members, Superintendent Griffin. Myself and my Director of Instruction, Ryan Brochet, are here for the first reading of the amended policy 405 for special education services. Specifically, what this policy is looking at is on the attached policy, you will find sections in red that we are required per corrective action plans of PED to amend our policy in the areas of prior written notices, least restrictive environment, and our 18 to 21 transition program. And specifically, these are things that we are already doing and are an expectation of our staff in special education. However, as we know, there's always a few people that don't necessarily follow what we're expecting them to do. So PED is requesting that we change policy so that there is the ability to hold staff more accountable for not following these things, which are protected under IDEA. And we are here for questions.
Thank you very much. Corrective action plans from PED. May I ask where'd these come from? And are they a result of some issues that we've had?
Yes, that is correct, Madam President. One is from 2425 -47, so that is from the previous year, previous administration. Specifically, that one was in regard to qualifying children and allowing children to stay in our 18 to 21 transition program and when their exit was. And the second one is from the beginning of the end of last year, beginning of this year, titled 2526, Cap 11. That cap specifically deals with the least restrictive environment and the prior written notices. And those two came from a parent who would like the sun, the moon, the stars, and the rainbows. And we are doing our best to accommodate all of their needs. PED found in our favor on a few items, but they also asked us to make some changes just so we were crystal clear across the board about what our policies and expectations were in regard to these items.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maynard. Yes, Dr. Gonzalez.
I just have a question. I didn't know this, but parentally placed private school children, so you have to test children that are in private schools?
I'm wondering if you have the wrong copy. Madam, I apologize, I'm also new. That is from a previous amendment, and that, yes, that is true. We have a proportionate
It's on the
share.
second page.
Yes, that is
Page 2.
correct.
Second page.
Yeah, it's not in red. It's just a part of
Correct,
the
yes.
existing policy.
But that is a question, Dr. Gonzalez. That is, yes, we have a proportionate share that we are required to share so much X amount of funding. There's a formula, and we are required to allocate whatever that funding amount is for private school students.
So that's just for the testing, or is that
No, it's testing and services.
Services, okay.
Yes.
And how many private schools have services for special needs kids?
Member Dr. Gonzalez, we support, I believe it's 14 private schools. And what it is it's when the proportionate share runs out, it runs out. Last year's proportionate share was $96,000. This year's, I believe, was cut down to approximately 60. I could get you the exact number, but I don't know off the top of my head. And so when that money runs out, it runs out. And primarily, our students are receiving speech, and we have a few that are receiving OT, I believe 3.
Thank you.
Any additional questions from the board? And just as a matter of course, forgive me, Board Member Blay, if I've said this, but we do 2 readings of a policy. And so this is our first reading, and if anything occurs to us in between, we can always amend it at a second reading, and then it's final. And then we can amend it if we do 2 more readings later.
Okay, thank you, President Noble. I was wondering.
But ultimately, this is a first reading, and thank you for the explanations. It's all very clear. Is there a motion?
I move approval of the first reading of amended policy 405, special education services.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or otherwise? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Moving on to board discussion and possible action. Guidelines and deadline for New Mexico School Board Association Excellence in Student Achievement Award. I don't know if we have this in the packet, but long story short, we've done this a few times before. Superintendent, please let me know if there's anything you want to say to weigh in, but ultimately, we need 2 board members to review, and I feel like Vice President Bose and Dr. Gonzalez have done this a number of times in the recent years, to review. We get a list of nominations, often from the team and folks, and then we need board members to review. We get one for free at NMSBA, but our practice has been to award more than that, because we do have many great folks in this district who are deserving of these awards, and ultimately we designate a subcommittee of 2 board members to do that detailed review and decision-making. And it looks like Vice President Bose is volunteering.
I'm not.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I can. I just remember, as a new board member, how helpful it was to have someone explain to me that this is an award for adults who support student achievement. It's not for students who achieve.
Yep, good one. And the deadline to submit these things to Alma is March 5th, so we have a reasonably tight turnaround. It looks like we need 2 board members to find some time to get together next week. Is the list ready, or will be next week?
It will be whenever the board members are able to meet.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Griffin.
I'll volunteer.
All right, Board Member Blaya's in.
I guess I'm probably the only one that has the time to do it.
It's funny, I've noted a bunch how many of us have jobs on the board now, which has not been the case in the past, but that's wonderful, Dr. Gonzalez. Board Member Blaya, if you're up for it, we'll leave it to you. Okay, thank you very much. We postponed item B, so is there anything else for board discussion and possible action? A future, and I think I've explained this before, but we tend to raise issues and put them on a future board agenda because we can't discuss them in super substance without having them on the agenda. Go ahead, Vice President Bose.
Thank you, President Noble. I want to confirm that at our next meeting, I will have the long-awaited vaping resolution. I've finally finished working on that with Office of Student Wellness this week. And I believe that it was set to Alma and ready for the agenda at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Board Member Blaya.
So I also would like to bring forth the resolution that I've actually drafted. I talked about it a little bit. I worked on it with Sandia National Labs and Los Alamos National Labs to increase STEAM resources to use, to start with workforce training for quantum computing. And it's in accordance with the governor's mandates and different DARPA grants and things like that that have happened at the national level. I've gotten it back from Alma. She put it in the right format, so I'd like to try to bring that to a future meeting if possible.
Marvelous. So, you know, I don't see a reason we can't put it on very soon if you're ready.
I'm ready.
You know, assuming you've discussed with the superintendent and she doesn't have major objections, but as a matter of courtesy, we'd probably want that. But great, and superintendent, we can go ahead and put those things on the agenda whenever the board members please. Okay, great. Anything else? Moving on to advanced planning, there's a CRC meeting on the 4th. There was a task force meeting this week. We have an audit committee meeting on the 12th. And as well as our next board meeting, we will have an executive session to do a little more on preparation for the superintendent evaluation and anything else we need to do in the way of legal or whatever else. Vice President Bose.
Thank you, President Noble. I just want to note that the CRC meeting next week will be fully virtual.
Virtual meeting for the CRC next week. Okay. And then to say we did provisionally agree April 4th, superintendent, and again that we need you to be able to be there, and that is the end of spring break that we were hoping to do a Saturday morning with the formal superintendent evaluation.
Thank you. I will make it work.
All right. Anything else on advanced planning? Okay, seeing nothing, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much.